In Pocket View, pick the right launch. We have Cambridge first launch since I was born and even more. And truth be told, I will usually cover launches that are worth a visit. Why? Because we cannot talk bad stuff online, ma. And I wasn't planning to do this at all, but at this point of recording, I have seen the show flat and the quality of the development, and Lindenwoods is something very interesting that you might want to visit if you're planning to get one for an investment or even for own use lah. And given it's a capital land project, if Thomson View is built anything like this, which the en bloc is still on hold at this point of time, then we are in for a treat. Disclaimer, whatever I share does not constitute financial advice. It is solely based on my opinion on what is right or wrong. So please do your own due diligence. If you're liking the content so far, please hit the like and subscribe button, as your simple gesture will help a lot with the YouTube algorithm. If you're interested to find out more about property related matters, please find all the social media handles I am on, or you can just directly reach out to me on WhatsApp. Separately, I have also set up a Telegram group at the start of the year so that we can have a discussion that we as agents are not allowed to do so online, which is to talk shit. So if you are interested to get into a community that talks about everything under the sun about property, please scan the QR code, or for the boomers out there, I have pasted the link in my description. We're going to close the group invitation in probably a month or 2 times, so head over and I will see you there. Now back to the video. In today's episode, I will be covering Lindenwoods with our QPE framework to help you understand why this should be under your watch list and if it's a buy, hold or miss. Now, to give you some brief introduction, address is Science Park Drive. I think this kind of instantly makes you sound smarter already, right? Now, this land isn't a GLS or even an en bloc. It is a land owned by Capital Land, same developers of Jayden. Now, this is zoned previously for commercial and now given the green light to switch it to a residential plot. So any known formula to calculate their eventual sale price is not going to be applicable. So it could be like 2,000 per square foot all the way to like maybe 2,800 per square foot. I mean, 2,000 per square foot is like 99.99% almost impossible, but you got my point. We don't know what price they will want to launch until they would want us to know. But before that comes out, we can always study the development quality and exit strategy, then wait for the price to be eventually released in about a month's time at this point of recording, which means that you will get about a solid month to really scout online for more information and opinions before you form your very own. So let's use the QPE framework to look at this, shall we? First circle, quality. The first point, land size, facilities and facade. For a start, Lindenwoods is a pre-harmonized plot, so you will pay for the AC ledgers. Now, 2 blocks of 343 units, 24 stories sitting on close to 125,000 square feet of land, which is actually above average for plots around the Cambridge and One North area. Pretty much full facilities. You got tennis courts, and developers even bother building a pickle court. I mean, who does that? But okay lah, understandable given the interest in this sport is growing. I'm a tennis player since young, and sometimes I know the sound can be annoying for those who don't play, but when I tell you the sound of pickleball is on another level, it is on another level of noisy. Right, so there's also like a packed corner beside the playground. The development is designed by ADDP Architects. Now, usually when we hear Guacoland or ADDP Architects products, we will always expect a fair bit of greeneries in the condo itself. Now, this is no exception. In this instance, there's actually more emphasis on this aspect on the common lift lobby area, where I can imagine every single level will look like this. Now, the only thing is, I'm not too sure when it rains what's going to happen now. It is going to also likely TOP on paper at around like mid-2029, but give and take usually is like much earlier. Like how early is like a year before that? One thing that I particularly like is that there's actually only 2 blocks, and each block has like 8 units per level. But instead of building 2 lifts that serves all 8 units, which they can gladly do so, they built 4 lifts to do just that, with each 2 lifts serving 4 on each end. I think that is pretty thoughtful on the developer's end. And given I have seen whatever I need to see, the selling point for Lindenwoods will be its quality, and the development doesn't disappoint one bit. In fact, it is also this reason that I thought of doing this video, and that's because it is the best show flat I've seen so far for 2025. Now this loses slightly to Nava Grove in 2024, but I'm thinking it doesn't fare that far off either. Now the choice of flooring, the tiles used for the toilets resemble that of Nava Grove. Now the one thing they did better though, I personally feel that architects are very bold with the way they choose to present this product to the consumers out there. It's not like, yeah, this room put single, that room put queen size bed, then the other one just put study lah. Like a certain development that use same finishing and materials for all their projects, like stockpiling. It's about them willing to stay away from these norms to illustrate to you something very different. How different? You're going to see for yourself lah. If you don't have anyone to bring you there, I'll bring you. Call me or WhatsApp me if you're shy. Just watch out for some of the mirrors outside the 4-bedroom layout. I'm warning you first. Some uncle, auntie confirm langgar straight to it one. Because the show flat is very big, it is also very, very confusing. So for land size, facilities and facade, it really has a lot of things going on for a mid-sized plot. Now second point, layout, and for today, I will do things a bit different from usual. I will mesh both price and layout into one section to be a little bit less long-winded. And I say first, at this point of recording on the 28th of May 2025, I have only access to 3 floor plans. And I believe the final sizes are not confirmed yet, but there's kind of like a guide size given to us lah. Starting from. Now the development is not a government land sale, so it's non-PPVC, meaning quite a handful of the walls can be knocked down if need be. So I can only judge on these 3 layouts lah. And I can tell you based on specs, the developers are very generous. So generous that I feel it can be a double-edged sword like Jaden. Now, in case you missed out my video previously on why I thought Jaden might be a trap, you can check out my link in description. Basically, it's just too big lah. I mean, it's good for consumers, but you think is it good for the pockets? You will see, you will see. First one, 2+ study, proper conventional layout. We call it the toy gun layout. You see, if I were to rotate it, I mean, it really looks kind of like one, right? Okay, come into the kitchen that has a window, which is quite a scarcity in today's market. Good. The induction cooker is similar to that used in Nava Grove. Proper living and dining area, decent balcony space. Bedroom 2 and master are pretty sizable. One thing to take note, the AC ledgers are at the back, so your windows here are all gonna be full blank glass panels, which is good. Master toilet and common toilet also got window. Again, good. Now look at the study, also very big. And I know co-living operators will see these and instantly want to convert the study to another bedroom, but please guys, please have some standard. Developers actually punch out the wall to open up the study so that you can have a better feel of the space, understandably so, but bro, at 850 square feet, this is very big, my friend. So how will this affect the entry level? Let's put a number of, let's say 2,400 per square foot starting from and going all the way up to 2,800 per square foot, shall we? It means it's going to start from about like 2.05 all the way to like $2.4 million. And mind you bro, 2.05 to $2.4 million for a 2+ study. I mean, the space is very big, but you also got to look at your competitors in the same neighborhood lah. So let's use a couple of examples to compare, shall we? Now, on the resale market, we have One North Eden, 786 square feet, very sizable 2+ study, hitting already $1.85 million. Normanton Park only had one transaction at $1.822 million in the past like 2 years. The new launch recently of Blossom by the Park done at between $1.6 to $1.92 million. Wow. The latest here at One North Romo brought it at close to like $1.87 to $1.95 million. Now Bloomsbury, the recent launch at Neither Circle, sells theirs at $1.7 to $1.8 million, although it is not close to the MRT. Now, looking at it, it kind of shows how attractive Bloomsbury is, right? But I know a lot of people just can't accept the inconvenience, but it is what it is. My take is that if Lindenwoods goes for like the lower end of $2 million, I think that's still quite a decent pick, but my it ventures closer to $2.4 million. Okay, that is 2+ study venturing into the range that allows one to start looking at a 3-bedroom. And that's only because of its quality lah. The size is a tad too big. Anyway, let's just move on and check out the next to see if this is an exception or a norm. 3+ study unit starting from 1,200 square feet. Yo, without even looking at the floor plan, 1,200 square feet is most 4-bedroom sizes in post-harmonization era. But never mind, let's analyze. You come to the kitchen. Again, judging from the width of the living room, although we weren't given the exact specification, my guess that it should be somewhere around 3.5 to 3.6 meter wide. So that's actually quite decent. Bedroom looks like it's a 9 square meter. You have a guest bedroom or study sandwich between the bedroom 2 and the master. So what I think you can do is, number 1, let it remain as a study. Or number 2, you can knock the wall separating this and the bedroom 2 so that your common bedroom can be much bigger. Or number 3, take it into the master so that you can have a much larger master bedroom space or even more cabinet space. And what the designers did was unexpected. It did none of the above. I mean, what did they do? Just go check out when the preview comes along. Now, bedroom 3 is also pretty sizable, but it feels kind of awkward to be just actually a wall away from the kitchen and the yard. I mean, maybe this one can be a maid's room, open up a door to the yard, who knows? All in all, everything about this 3+ study is pretty neat and clean. I can't pinpoint much except, do we really need a 3+ study that big? So again, 2.4 to 2.8 per square foot would mean it's in the range of $2.88 to $3.36 million. I mean, resale 1 North Eden, to be fair, doesn't have a 3+ study, but their premium 3 sells for between $2.6 to $2.7 million. Normanton Park also got no 3+ studies, so the 3 premium sells at around $2.35 to $2.5 million. Blossom by the Park normal 3 does between $2.3 to $2.8 million. Here at 1 North, 3+ study is only between $2.65 to $2.75 million. And of course, the latest Bloomsbury is around 2.5 to about 2.8. This, for its location and size, might be justifiable if it's, I believe, below $3 million. But when it starts to hit close to mid-threes, like $3.3 million, I believe it's other places 4 bedrooms. I mean, if you were to find it out, let's say Alta, which is in the OCR with no MRT, the smaller 4 bedrooms are already in the $2.8 to $3 million range. But okay this location, again, is vastly different, so it's not exactly an apple-to-apple comparison. The last one, the 4-bedroom unit, 1,600 square feet, again, is usually like 1,002 to 1,003 in today's market. Max, also 1,004. 1,006 is like... Anywho, it's so big, you're probably gonna get pretty good space, right? I mean, let's see. 4-bedroom, 3 toilets, private lift lobby, rightfully so given the size and all. Coming into a landscape layout, good. Kitchen and yard separated, good and bad. The last time I've seen such layout is at Leaf at MB. I personally like it, but I'm not sure if it's for everyone. You got a mini island there at the kitchen too, nice. Bedroom 3 looks spacious, but because there's no wardrobe, junior ensuite looks like it isn't that big. I mean, decent size. Bedroom 4 also looks like a 9 square meter. Actually, the size is so big. Why don't you just give like all the bedrooms like minimum 10 to 11 square meter? I mean, this point I never quite understand. But anyway, I digress. Master bedroom is pretty big with its own walk-in wardrobe. Again, it's a 4-bedroom, 3 toilet, so naturally it's one of the highest specs you can find. Everything looks good, but nothing out of the ordinary now. Price point 2.4 to 2.8 per square foot, $3.84 million to like $4.48 million. But bruh, this is like almost everywhere's 5 bedrooms. 1 North Eden sells for like $3.3 million. Normanton Park, $2.8 to $2.9 million. Blossom by the Park, the weird 4-bedroom, 1,005 square feet, also around 3.5 to 3.8. Here at 1 North at around 3.15. Bloomsbury, $3.5 to $3.8 million. Okay, to be fair, all the sizes and neighboring competitions are way smaller, but reality is you still have 4 bedrooms to compete with. 1,006 square feet is really huge and is probably one of the better layouts you can find, but at what price? I go to Nava Grove, I can probably also get the 5 bedrooms that is, everyone knows, is amazing. I will sum it up at the end of the video why the layout and pricing can be a collective problem or a collective boom. Now, point number 3, location, MRT and amenities. As for its location, this is pretty convenient as the MRT is almost beside the development, only separated by Geneo. Now, what is Geneo? It's like a new arty-farty commercial come shopping mall sort of setup lah. Very similar to that of like One Holland Village, where most of the common areas are non-air conditioned and are pets friendly. For connectivity, you are pretty darn close to the highway. I mean, in fact, some units will overlook the highway too, but more on that in just a bit. Now, the commuting by both car and public transport is going to be pretty convenient, so I guess you got no complaints for that. Point 4, views. They try to park all the smaller units to be overlooking the AYE direction facing towards the north. Can be quite noisy, but with also pretty open views. And the south facing is of course reserved for the larger units in general with some like Odd 2 plus study. On the higher floors, you might get some pocket sea view, but I'm guessing you really have to be quite high up floor. By far and large, the views are pretty decent. So for the first point of quality, it is solid enough to put this under consideration, because beyond all the numbers and location itself, the product still need to matter or matters. And so far, it checks all boxes on quality. But because the quality is too good, like the size is too big, it actually might be a double-edged sword, as I mentioned. Very similar to Jayden. Per square foot might look attractive, but the generous space given by developers might tip it over the safe entry level. More on that in a bit. Now, second circle, exit strategy, supply demand. If I were to just judge it solely on supply within the Cambridge area, then I say this competes on its own. But the reality is we have to take into consideration the supply at the One North area, and luckily there isn't too much supply. Now, North Park residences, here One North, Blossom by the Park, One North Eden, Bloomsbury, Normanton Park, I think that's about it. It isn't that many for content with, to be honest. So second point, transformation. Well, I think the One North transformation is already bearing its fruit. I mean, it gives you so many different catchments of tenant pool to tap on. On top of that, you get the NUH and NUS cluster, which also has a wide variety of crowd interested in leasing a property nearby too. And based on my experience, is right now much easier to rent out properties here than in the CBD. I mean, somehow it's way faster. Point number 3, schools, Fairfield Methodist. By default, those Fairfieldians parents who might be thinking of putting kids into their alma mater, or new parents who want to get in, the lack of condo options within a 1 km radius, it's quite evident. Lindenwoods probably is the better one among the other few. So got schools, it's always a plus point, but as usual, not a deal breaker. Point number 4, target audiences. I expect a fair bit of HDB upgraders looking at Lindenwood's convenience as the key factors for moving over there, as Cambridge is an area that doesn't have much history in terms of it being a residential neighborhood. I think the crowd will likely come from further out west, or even the Holland, Ghim-moh, or even Commonwealth, Queenstown area. Again, the spool effect will be a significant plus point too, and because of its superior quality, you should also see a fair bit of condo upgraders too for the larger units. Smaller 2-bedroom or 2+ studies should see quite a fair bit of dings, dual income no kids, who might be working in the nearby tech firms and with arty-farty places like Janelle or other cafes nearby, or maybe like even a small family or 3 because why not? And with that, I expect the exit strategy to be pretty strong. The lack of supply, the school effect, the convenience, and this is not too bad. So, in conclusion, is Lindenwoods a buy, a hold, or miss? When I was analysing it before seeing the actual show flat, my instinctive answer is, I think I will give it a miss. But after seeing what CapitaLand has done for the condo itself, I believe the quality is a notch higher than most competitions nearby. You got everything you might need in a condo. You have like MRT, amenities. I mean, not the kind of wet market or whatever it is. I'm talking about eateries, cafes, all the hipster stuff. Of course, you have Fairfield Methodist nearby. The drive to Expressway is also just a minute or so. If you're sick, you also won't die because you go NUS, it's so easy. Try. Even though it's a bit awkward to be the only residential plot among all the commercial buildings around there, the Science Park modern outlook deviates slightly from the traditional blue, glassy building sort of vibes. But for all its strength, as I mentioned, because the quality is so good and the developers are so generous with its space, it can work against them like how Jayden did. The size is too damn big, which means that for every bedroom type, it might creep into the neighborhood's bedroom type that is 1 tier higher than Lindenwoods. I mean, this might be a breath of fresh air for those who hate smaller sizes, but no matter how amazing and convenient you are, price will still keep you in check. And since I have no context of what developers will launch at, 2,000 per square foot, 2,004, 2,008, I don't know. My verdict now is I will hold, watch, and see to be exact. Now, the price is going to make or break it. Exactly what price, I would draw a line with hard stop where you can walk away from it. You can privately reach out to me and we can discuss. But as a very intelligent consumer like yourself, you want to prep yourself leading up to any such announcement of the price. So while that isn't out, I would advise you to please visit Show Flat to see what CapitaLand and its architect have done for you. Again, if you don't have anyone to bring you there, I'm here. Even if agents just ask them bring you go see it is very impressive. You go inside kind of like don't want to buy, but at least you come out will suddenly have a lot of interesting reno ideas. Because ultimately, you never know if the developers decide to give chance for whatever reason because of like the terrace effect or whatever it is. Hey, can only be good for you.